I can't believe that a new quarter has started already. And you know what that means. There's a new Kendra's Card Challenge, which is number 16 already. And I have the honor of presenting you sketch number 8. I will show you 2 ways of making this sketch. One is interactive and one is clean and simple. And I'll be making an additional bonus card with a moving shape. This video is also part of a giveaway hope, so stay tuned for more information. My name is Julia and I'm an enthusiastic card maker and paper crafter from Austria. Welcome to my channel, Julie's Kreativschatzkiste. So these are the 15 new sketches, which you can make out of 6 sheets of 6x6 inch patterned paper. In case you're not familiar with Kendra's free card making challenge, I will give you more information later. For today's cards, I'm using the monthly mystery card kit sampler, which Kendra sends out monthly to her all access patrons. The papers in this kit sampler come from KCC 16 super sponsored disc calls for Confetti. And I really love the watercolor look of the papers that are included. Beside the papers there are also some images and some sentiments, but we are not going to use them today. Alright, we start with a clean and simple card. I'm using these pink watercolored papers and the pink matting layer, which was also included in the kit. So this is sketch number 8, which we're going to make today. I first start out by cutting my card base to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I also cut down the matting layer according to the measurements given in the sketch, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Then I cut the patterned paper according to the measurements given. The great thing about Kendra's card challenges, not only can you make 15 cards out of 6 sheets of 6x6 inch patterned paper using the cutting guide, which is included in the free PDF, which you can download at the link given in my description box. But you also have all the measurements for all the individual sketches, so you can just choose one of the sketches and make that out of patterned paper as well. So now I have finished cutting all the paper strips required for my sketch. I have also cut out a circle out of white watercolor paper, and now I'm using my watercolors to imitate the same pattern as given on the patterned paper. I'm coloring the edge of the circle with pink watercolor. I'm using the wet on wet technique, which means I used water on the watercolor paper before I put down the watercolor. I dried the circle really well with my heat tool, because then I want to stamp the sentiment on it. For stamping the sentiment, I searched my stash for a matching ink. And the sentiment says Alles Liebe, which means with love in German. So now we have all the components ready for our card. It's time to build it together. While you watch me doing that, I can tell you more about Kendra's Card Challenge. So you know already, it's a free challenge where you can make 15 unique cards with 6 sheets of 6x6 inch patterned paper. What I didn't mention yet is that you can win prizes with the challenge. Because if you upload one photo with all the 15 cards you made with the challenge to the relevant album in the Kendra's Card Challenge's Facebook group, which is also linked in my description box, you can win great prizes, monthly as well as quarterly prizes. These prizes are drawn in a video at the end of each month on the Cards by Kendra YouTube channel. If you want to download the free PDF, you have to follow the link in my description box as well. And you have to join Patreon, but it's a completely free option. You just have to give your email address. There are also paid options for Kendra's Patreon, which you should also check out because it's the possibility for Kendra to keep the challenge free for all. And there are great perks, like the mystery card kit samplers I showed you at the beginning, which come with the paid options of Kendra's Patreon. So back to my card. Instead of the ribbon shown on the sketch, I just used this little bow, which was part of the card kit sampler as well. I adhere that with a glue dot, and this is my first card for today finished. For my second card, I cut down the papers pretty much in the same way as for the first card, so I'm not going to show that again. But the construction differs from the first card, because I want to make this circle on the card rotating. And for this to happen, I have to have a circle in all the layers of the card front. So the first thing I do is I use a piece of tape and I glue my paper strips together on the back. Then I take my circle die and place it on the front. I'm going to cut through my design papers as well as my matting layer at the same time. This is why I used low-tech tape to keep these 2 layers together in my die cutting machine so that nothing shifts then. So as you see, no problem at all, my die cutting machine cut through both layers of the paper. However, there's still one layer missing, the card blank, where I also need the circle cut out. So I place my matting layer on the card front, then I place my die exactly in the shape of the cut out circle, and then I send my card base also through my die cutting machine. Now I have all 3 layers with the circle in the exact perfect place where I need it. By the way, I keep all the cut out circles because I'm going to need some of them. However, for our rotating circles, I cut out 2 circles with circle dies that were a smidge smaller than the one I used to cut the hole into my layers, because it needs some space to rotate. I have also searched my stash for an elastic ribbon, which I will be using for adhering my rotating mechanism. And mind you, I have not yet glued any of the layers down because I have to construct my rotating mechanism first. But before we start the construction, I have put my sentiments on the 2 inner circles, so the smaller 2 circles I have cut out. For my sentiments I used black embossing powders, and on each of the 2 circles I used a different sentiment, so that when it rotates you can see both sentiments. And I had to cheat with my black pen a little bit because I lost some embossing powder on the way. So in the next step I adhere these 2 circles with my sentiments back to back on each other, and in between them I put down my elastic ribbon. It's really important to find the middle of the circles and adhere the elastic ribbon right in the middle. I tried eyeballing it and I can tell you I failed because my rotating mechanism in the end is a little bit wobbly. So I can just advise you find the middle of the circle for your elastic ribbon, then the rotating mechanism works best. By the way, I used liquid glue for adhering all this together and it really worked fine. So once this glue was really dry, I took my blank card with a circle cut into it, and I'm going to adhere my elastic ribbon to the front of my card base now. And in order to make sure that the elastic ribbon really adheres well to my card base, I use red liner tape in combination with liquid glue. So first of all, I'm putting down some red liner tape below and above the cutout circle. I removed the cover of the red liner tape and then I put my rotating circle in place and pressed my elastic ribbon really well into the red liner tape. And this is also the time where I can cut off the overhanging pieces of the ribbon. So the next part is easy, we're just gluing all the other layers we have already prepared on top of my card base. As the circle has been cut out in the same place, it's really easy to align it. And my paper strips are still adhered to each other with the low-tech tape on the back, and I just leave it there, because that way the placement is perfect. Just this little bit of paper was loose on the side, and I adhere that with liquid glue separately. As additional decoration, I made some golden drops on my cards. And then I let it dry overnight, just to be sure that the glue is really dry. On the next morning I tried the rotating mechanism the first time, and as you see, it was a bit wobbly, but it works, so I'm fine with it. The final step for decorating my card is then to glue the circle I cut out of the matting layer behind my rotating circle on the inside of the card. This way it seems there's a matting layer behind my rotating circle when the card is closed. So this is my interactive card finished for today. Once again the advice, try to find the middle with the elastic ribbon. So now it's time for our bonus card. My bonus card is made in exactly the same way as the one with the rotating circle. I have an acorn that is rotating. For making this bonus card I used another card kit sampler from Kendra, this time from Pink and Main. And I just thought the papers and the acorn were perfect for this time of the year. So while you're watching me constructing the bonus card, I can give you more information about Kendra's card challenge and particularly about the giveaway hope this video is part of. Each quarter, when a new Kendra's card challenge is published, all the members of the design teams are introducing all the new sketches. So this is why I'm presenting sketch number 8. So, of course you guessed it, there is a playlist where you can see all the other sketches made by my design team colleagues. This sketch introduction playlist is of course linked in my description box. Just a short note in between on my card. As you realize, this time I have already glued down my paper strips on my matting layer because I didn't need them apart before constructing my rotating mechanism. That's actually the easier way to do it. So sorry, you actually wanted to know how you can win in our giveaway hop. That's pretty easy. Each stop of the hop has a secret passphrase. My secret passphrase is Artful Angel, which is actually one of the super sponsors of KCC 16. In my description box you will find the link to a form, and in this form you have to enter my secret passphrase. Once again, it's Artful Angel. In all of the videos participating in the hop you get a different passphrase, and you can fill it into their forms. You can enter once per each stop, so if you watch the entire hop you have plenty of possibilities to enter the giveaway drawing and to win a great prize sponsored by Cards by Kendra. The deadline for filling in the form is October 12th, and the winner will be randomly chosen and announced on the Cards by Kendra YouTube channel community tab. Good luck to you all! And if you still want to find out more about Kendra's card challenge, I recommend you the YouTube channel Cards by Kendra, because Kendra has released a video yesterday where she introduces the new challenge and also gives you details about the cutting guide as well as the different possibilities of her Patreon tiers and the perks you get with it. So this is my bonus card finished. I have also used some Nouveau glaze on the acorn to make it shine a bit. Hope you like it. And here the rotating mechanism even works without wobbling. So once again, these are the cards we made with sketch number 8 of Kendra's Card Challenge 16. I really hope you are going to participate in the challenge. And don't forget to fill in the form linked in my description box for your chance to win in the giveaway. See you next time, servus!